Boys, I think it's time to have a talk about Arteta and Arsenal after PSG just defeated them in the Champions League. If you guys do enjoy the video, please leave a like, subscribe, and I'll catch you next time. Peace. Arsenal fans, it happened again. You guys come up short again. Or your team comes up short again in the biggest competition this time. And it was kind of a terrible game to watch, even if you're a fan of Arsenal. I mean, honestly, it was one of those things where Arsenal didn't play their game at all. It felt like they turned the car on, but they just put it in neutral. And they were like, okay, cool. And they put the parking brake on. They're like, okay, whatever, we're here. We made it. We beat Real Madrid. The thing's over. We won the competition in our hearts. And it's kind of one of those things where I feel really bad because I think Arsenal have the potential to go and win these competitions and win trophies and do all these crazy things, but I don't know if they come up short or they come up short, but I don't know if it's one of those things where they don't feel confident or they don't feel up to the task, because it felt, like I said, they were just turned the car on, put it in neutral. We're happy to be here. Wherever the hill takes us backwards or forwards, we're okay with that. And it was unfortunate to watch. I'm going to show you guys all the goals real quick. But I'm going to start off with the shot that Odegaard had, that Donnarumma saves. And that's a crazy save, man. That felt like the Pjanic shot in the Champions League final that Keylor Navas comes up with the save. Like watching it in real time, I'm like, holy crap, that was one of the greatest saves I've ever seen. Because of the pace and the power that Odegaard does put on it, it's like a snapshot. And Donnarumma gets down real quick, pushes the ball away, and it was a great save from the big man. And in that play, it felt like he popped his shoulder out of place or hurt his shoulder really bad, and he was down for a couple minutes, and then he came back up. So that was Arsenal's honestly best chance of the game that I thought. But Bukayo Saka does go on to score a goal. Super lucky in my opinion. But here's the first goal of Fabian Ruiz. This is the only angle I could find, which is phenomenal for it to be lagging. It's great. Having a great time. Ball comes in. Ball cuts out. Ruiz touch. And that was one of those plays where you're like, holy crap, that was like a James Rodriguez World Cup semifinal type goal. Like this play, real quick, Martinelli's coming out to block this, to block his shot, and he takes a little touch off his chest, blows by Martinelli, and then just slingshot left foot, top bins, no chance for Raya there. Then here comes Hakimi's goal. K-Bar win. Puts it to the top of the box. Fortunate from Hakimi there. And then Dembele to Hakimi. And Hakimi knows he scored it right after he shot. He's like, yeah, you're not stopping that. Then here comes Bukayo Saka's goal. Cross in, deflect, shot, open net, goal. And then last opportunity for Arsenal to kind of get back into the tie. Desperation. 79th minute. Ball in. Open net. And it kind of bobbles on him. Comes up and he just shoots it over. And a lot of people have this, like, how do I want to say? Kind of like this weird pressure on Bukayo Saka. I know he's one of the best wingers in football at the moment. Not the best, but one of the best. I know he's the best English winger right now. And I think that he has this super, like, misplaced pressure onto him. I don't know where it comes from, why he has it, but I mean, the kid's good, bro. I don't know why people are on his ass so much. He played well. Well, let me restate that. He played pretty good within the second half after PSG scored their second goal. I felt like Arsenal turned it up. They put the car in drive and they actually attempted to do things. In the first half, or most of the game, it kind of felt like Arsenal were just like, okay, cool, we're happy to be here. And they didn't create plays. There was no like tiki-taka, backwards, forwards, within midfield play, winger play. It was weird, man. It was watching a different Arsenal. It was like I said, watching an Arsenal that felt like they're okay to just happy to be here, you know? They felt like once they beat Real Madrid, we're happy. We won the competition in our hearts. And PSG were like, okay, that's how you feel? Cool. We're going to go win the game now. We're going to go pressure you. We're going to put the pedal to the metal. And we're going to put you on your butt. And that's kind of how the game played out. In terms of, like, as a spectator, you're watching the game, you're like, wow, PSG are not great, but Arsenal aren't doing much to counter whatever they're doing. And a lot of the pressure was on David Raya and those defenders. And typically when I watch Real Madrid play them, I thought Arsenal were like, I was like, wow, Arsenal are super strong. And then I went into this game. Dembele's not starting. I think Gonzalo Ramos started as striker. It was super weird. I mean, he didn't do much, but it was weird that Arsenal didn't defend well at all. Saliba was still strong, but his pairings they weren't doing well. They were getting beat on the wing as well. Hakimi was tearing them up. Kvar was tearing them up. It was weird, man. It was weird to watch Arsenal like this. It was just like, who is this team? Never heard of these guys. Never seen these guys. And the first half, like I said, they were cruising. Arsenal was just like whatever. They were kind of like took a nap or something. Then the second half, same sort of thing happened. They didn't make any adjustments. It did feel like Luis Enrique and Arteta were like big brother, little brother. And big brother beat the crap out of little brother. And little brother was like, yeah, that's what happens. That's kind of how it goes, right? The way of the road. Big brother beats up little brother. And I don't know, Arteta felt like he kind of was like behind Luis Enrique's shadow, like, whoa, bro. Like, the moment's too big for me. And it kind of feels like that pretty often for Arsenal. I think their fans would agree. But yeah, that's kind of what it felt like. I think Arsenal are a strong, young team. I think that they're scratching at the surface, trying to break through, but they just haven't yet. I don't know if that moment will come. Sometimes one of those sometimes teams can scratch at the surface, but they won't ever break it. Kind of like PSG in the past, where they had Mbappe, Neymar, and all these other guys, and they didn't win it. They went to the final, they didn't win it though. They were just like, they were always there, but they just never broke through and won the damn thing. So, like I said, I thought Arsenal felt like they were okay, happy to be there, and they were kind of just like, whatever, man. We beat Real Madrid, the reigning champions, and we're okay with where we are. We're happy with what we accomplished. We can take that home to the bank, tell our moms and our kids about it, and that's it. So that sucked to see. I would have loved to see a more competitive game like I did yesterday, but nothing was ever going to live up to what we saw yesterday. So, I mean, in terms of like sports analysis, in my opinion, like, the game didn't get good until Trossard came on. And he actually added a lot to that Arsenal offense. Once Hakimi put that second goal in the back of the net, Arsenal turned it on. I do think that PSG were okay with sitting back and be like, hey, okay, go ahead, man. Let's see what you got now. Because they were up 2-0. They're like, there's no way we lose this game, right? So it felt like they let Arsenal back in it. And once that did happen, Arsenal, to be fair, did play well. But a team's not going to give you that, bro. A team's not going to let you go ahead and attack them freely like that. So the last 15 minutes, Arsenal played well because PSG allowed them to play well. Kvar was very good on the wing. Dembele came on. He made a couple plays. He didn't do nothing crazy. I think he's injured or something like that. So he kind of just came in, gave the fans a big cheer, and the game was over by that time. So I thought, honestly, it was going to be a more competitive game. I thought Arsenal were going to score early, put a lot of pressure on PSG. But like I said, they just showed up, didn't show up to play, though, right? They showed up, but they never arrived. They just were like, whatever, bro. We're here. We made it. Great news. Woohoo. But I mean, that's it for today's video. If you guys did enjoy, please leave a like, subscribe, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.